Look, I stand proud and I stand tall. This is not a victory lap for me because it's not over. They're going to try again, and they're going to try again. And guess what? Here I am.
A few moments later.
His commentary, obviously in support of them. Does the fact that he claims to be an independent journalist, does that factor into the law at all?
Well, he's an online agitator. That's what he is now. And sure, if you're a journalist and you're covering a story, that's not what he was doing. If you were in there, if you protested and went into that church on the Sunday and you terrorized the parishioners, we are coming after you.
Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to get notifications anytime I go live or make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. Let's get to John Lemon Juice real quick. And you know he ain't gonna make it to heaven either. Lying, talking about he a Christian with a man on top of his back every night. All right, let's go to Minnesota. So here's a couple updates. Let me say this. Don Lemon was going to be arrested. He was going to be arrested. But the federal judge decided not to sign off on the arrest warrant. And therefore they didn't arrest him. They should arrest Don Lemon. Now, let me explain this before I get to the context. And I'm going to try to do this fast because I only got 10 minutes. I don't think Don Lemon right now should be arrested on federal charges because the probable cause, the burden of proof is a lot higher than on the state charges that Stevie Wonder can see he violated. Entering and remaining on private property after reasonable request to leave, that's trespassing. That's a crime, misdemeanor crime. If you are creating or a part of disorderly conduct, which he was, that is also a crime. At least you got two crimes right there. You got two crimes. So on a state level, he should be arrested on those crimes. Federally, they need to do an investigation and find out if there was correspondence between Don Lemon in preparation of this event. So if it was premeditated by Don Lemon knowing that they were going to go and violate people's rights, then Don Lemon should be also included in the federal charges. Not too long ago, I had one of those quiet moments that kind of stop you in your tracks. Nothing dramatic. Just sitting around with my family, looking around, realizing how much life has changed. The routine, the responsibilities, the people depending on me, and it hit me. I'm building something meaningful, something worth protecting, and that feeling is powerful, but it also carries weight. Because once you realize how much you have to lose, protecting it all can feel overwhelming. Thinking about the future, finances, making sure that your loved ones are taken care of in case something crazy happens to you. It can be heavy stuff, heavy on the heart. And if you're being honest, insurance used to feel like one more headache that I didn't want to deal with. That's why I trust Policy Genius. Policy Genius makes the whole process simple and clear. It's an online insurance marketplace where you can compare life insurance quotes from America's top insurers side by side for free. No pressure, no guesswork. Their licensed team actually works for you. They help you find the right coverage, answer your questions, handle paperwork, and make sure that you're getting a policy that actually fits your life. I've heard from listeners who use Policy Genius and were surprised by how easy it was and how much peace of mind that it gives you. And with thousands of 5-star reviews on Google and Trustpilot, the trust is well earned. With Policy Genius, real users have gotten 20-year, $2 million policies for just $53 a month. Ease the way to protecting a wonderful life. Head to policygenius.com/Tatum to compare life insurance quotes from top companies and see how much you can save. That's policygenius.com/Tatum. Let's go to Fox News clip 100 and let's roll it.
Those three individuals who were arrested were some of the organizers of that anti-ICE protest at the church. But Fox News has learned that a federal magistrate judge shot down multiple arrest warrants that the Justice Department tried to get for other individuals who were also involved in that protest, including former CNN anchor Don Lemon. Sources confirmed to Fox the magistrate judge who blocked the warrants is named Douglas Miko, and his wife, works as an assistant attorney general in Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison's office. A source close to U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi tells Fox the AG is enraged at the magistrate judge's decision and says DOJ is still pursuing charges against additional individuals related to that protest. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry and other Democratic leaders argue these prosecutions and the massive immigration enforcement operation are purely political theater.
Rejecting the charges against Don Lemon smells fishy to me, and we may actually learn more about the magistrate's motivations, his bias, his conflict of interest, as Kevin pointed out. You know, legally, the magistrate would have to have decided that these prosecutors did not meet the standard of probable cause. But, you know, just personally disagreeing with the wisdom or fairness of bringing the case, that's not a valid ground for overriding the charging decision. So, Sean, I thoroughly expect the DOJ to do one of two things here: either bypass the magistrate by going directly to a grand jury for an indictment against Don Lemon, or go to a real district court judge, because, you know, a magistrate is really just a ministerial assistant. You know, he handles misdemeanors and warrants and empties the trash cans.
All right, let's go to clip 102, and that's Don Lemon Juice running his mouth on TikTok. Roll the clip.
Look, I stand proud and I stand tall. This is not a victory lap for me because it's not over. They're going to try again, and they're going to try again. And guess what? Here I am. Keep trying. That's not going to stop me from being a journalist. You're not going to diminish my voice. Go ahead, make me into the new Jimmy Kimmel if you want, because I'm not going anywhere, and I'm going to believe the same things, whether you want to, whatever. None of this is about justice. This is about power, and it's about people who are incompetent. When they want to become dictators or authoritarians and take over a country, what do? The first thing they do is get rid of the media. They shut off the radio. They have state-run TV. They have state-run radio. They have state-run newspapers. That's what's happening.
Time out. I think that gay get in his brain. I don't know what it is. That other man, DNA is getting in your brain. And people that know, you know what I'm talking about. So what are you talking about, bro? If we were living in a dictatorship, or somehow Donald Trump was trying to establish a totalitarian government, you wouldn't even be on here talking like this. You wouldn't be able to talk. They're going to take over the radios. What effort has been put forward to control the radios? Only Democrats do that. What effort has been put forward to take over television? Podcasters. Only Democrats did that. When we didn't toe the line in 2020, they want to deplatform you and do all that old crazy stuff. I remember it. We couldn't talk about abortion online or they'll deplatform you. We couldn't talk about COVID online, they deplatform you. You couldn't even be a doctor giving your scientific evidence to prove your thesis or prove your hypothesis about anything related to COVID, or they'll deplatform you. Oh, take your license away. You guys were doing that. Okay. Last clip from I bet his daddy is not proud of him. Okay, last clip. Roll it.
Hello, everyone. Sheriff Grady Judd here. I'm standing in a house of worship, and I think about last weekend in St. Paul, Minnesota, where people who came to worship were attacked. They were attacked by rioters. The service was disrupted. They cut at the very fabric of this great United States of America. We settled this country so many years ago so we could worship free the way we wanted to in whatever house of worship we chose. That attack is unacceptable. I can assure you that had that attack been in this community, every one of those rioters would be in jail today. That's where the federal government could have found them, on state charges, locked up. And I pray it's that same way all across the United States of America. Enough is enough. Let's join together for the good of the United States of America. Let's worship the way we want to, and let's everyone renounce the horribleness of last Sunday in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Thank you, Sheriff. I appreciate him saying that. You know what's crazy is that it's just common sense. Like, we're gonna look back on this and be like, what in the flying flip was people even talking about? It's basic principles that we've lived by for hundreds of years.
His commentary, obviously in support of them. Does the fact that he claims to be an independent journalist, does that factor into the law at all?
Well, he's an online agitator. That's what he is now. And sure, if you're a journalist and you're covering a story, that's not what he was doing. We all know that. We have the video. It speaks for itself. He was in there with all these other people. If you were in there, if you protested and went into that church on the Sunday and you terrorized the parishioners, we are coming after you. That pastor is a wonderful man. I met with that pastor. Sean, these people were staged sitting in the church as well. Then they burst in through all doors, including Don Lemon, and started harassing and antagonizing and terrorizing these parishioners. A woman ran out the back door, scared to death, and broke her arm. We are coming after you if you participated in that. I don't care who you are. If you're a failed CNN journalist, you have no right to do that in this country. We don't live in a third world country. We're going to protect our houses of worship in this country.
All right, let's get to this last clip. It's a throwback clip of Don Lemon Juice. I guess he's trying to lecture Elon Musk. Roll the clip.
Elon, let's start with this. You're the richest man in the world. You own a major social media platform. You're influencing space, AI, energy, and now even politics. Do you think it's healthy or even democratic for one unelected billionaire to have this much power over public discourse and global infrastructure?
Power? Done. I built things people choose to use. No one elected me, and no one's forced to buy a Tesla, use X, or launch a satellite with SpaceX. That's called the free market. The real problem is when unelected journalists push narratives without accountability, shaping minds with zero innovation, zero risk, and zero skin in the game. So if you're worried about power with no checks, maybe look in the mirror.
Now, let me, I don't know if we was able to verify this. Was that AI or was that straight? Because I have never heard Elon Musk talk that straight, clean, without breaks. So maybe they modified it, but regardless of what it is, that was true. These fake journalist weirdos are out here trying to tell us how we should live. These people are not journalists. These people are not doing what's right. They're liars. They're deceptive. I have never once in my life, you can call me a journalist, I've never once in my life said, I'm going to go and report on this and lie because it benefits my side. Look, my side got to do it on their own. Look, if you cutting up, you cutting up. Donald Trump be cutting up sometimes. More than not, he do the right thing. But when he cutting up, I got to say he cutting up. It don't hurt me. There ain't nobody paying my bills. You ain't finna make me $100 million in my bank account every month. And maybe you cutting up ain't as bad to me. But you ain't giving me, y'all ain't doing nothing for me. I ain't gotta do nothing but keep it real and tell the truth and shame the devil. And even with that, like if you do that, you success will follow you. I just gotta say this. I got 1 more minute left. Success will follow you if you do the right thing. And I know a lot of people, they see money and green and they see clicks in the short term and they go, oh, I'm gonna go for that story. I'm going to say this, even though I don't believe it because it's clicks. I can really take advantage of this. When in reality, if you keep it real, you stay authentic, you just be real about what you're doing, you will be popular. Ask me how I know. I don't do the clickbaity. I don't do my stories like this. Where's the wind blowing? That's the story I want to do today. I don't do stuff like that. I do things that I'm passionate about, and people can tell when they watch me on television. And I have been able to be incredibly successful. You don't have to sell your soul for clicks. And these people like Don Lemon are selling their souls. All right, I got to get out of here. I want to make sure I tell you guys before I get out of here, make sure you follow me on Substack if you like to see the written format. I write articles based on some of my most popular videos. So people that love to read, you can read it there. Follow me on every social media platform at The Officer Tatum. You can follow me on the podcast network. I think people forget I have a podcast. My YouTube is so much more popular than my podcast. If you like to listen on podcasts when you're working out, riding in the car, if you're a truck driver, you're riding over the road, you want to hear B. Tatum, keep it 100. Make sure you follow The Officer Tatum Show on the podcast network.